Okay, so we've had some activity since the last time we looked at the Jeep. I have an issue. First of all, yeah, that rust hole. They trimmed the fenders, all kinds of muck and stuff got in there. The reason I even have that off is my taillights. This one here was all cracked and missing this side. So there was a guy on Facebook who was selling stock taillights. I picked these up from him and at a good price. I think I paid 20 bucks for a whole bunch of stuff, including the roof rack. But the lights came with it, which was good. This side here all works. Everything works as it should. This passenger side, the turn signal works, reverse light works, but the tail light and the brake light do not. So I tried everything I could think of to try to figure that out. Changed bulbs. I changed a bunch of fuses. I replaced a couple that were burnt out and a couple that were missing. That didn't do anything. So I pulled this panel off here and it revealed that nasty mess. And inside was this plug where the wires came together to the tail light. Now I'm looking at it, I'm trying to pull it apart and I couldn't get it apart. And I'm like, what is going on? I know I'm weak, but I couldn't get it. And I flipped it over and I'm like, oh yeah, there's your problem right there. Yeah, I must have had a short. Melted it all and it won't come apart. So I cut that out and I was going to splice the wires together and just eliminate this plug altogether. But one issue I've got is one side has 6 wires and the other side only has 5. So it's got 6 leading back, you know, towards the cab, and only 5 going on the light. So I don't know if there's an extra wire that doesn't do anything, or if one of the wires has to actually be engaged with 2 or more. I don't know. Since wiring is not my strong suit, I'm not exactly sure. I think I'm just going to match them up pin to pin with that extra wire not attached to anything and see. Who knows if it works. If it does, great. I'll just cap off that extra wire. If it doesn't, then I got to figure out what I'm going to do. But once I do get it all working, I'm going to hit the junction of the wires with some heat shrink tube and get that all as waterproof as I can. I might use some of that underlayment or undercoating paint that I've got on this just to kind of slow it down. It's not, I mean, really, that needs to be replaced, that metal. But, I mean, that's fab work that I'm not really experienced or even done ever. So, not sure on that. But, that's the project as it stands right now. One thing you did miss, remember that back tailgate panel, liftgate panel. Well, got a new one. No damage in this one. And that was pretty easy to do, actually. The one good thing about replacing this was it gave me access to the mechanism in here. This hatch wouldn't open or I couldn't get it open at all. And the locks didn't work, nothing worked. So when I pulled this off, I got to get a new Christmas tree fastener in here to get that tight. But, yeah, when you lift the plastic handle, that pushes down on like a little lever. And when that lever gets pushed down, the other side of that lever lifts up like a threaded rod, and that's what pulls the release. Well, the part where this engages was chipped away. It's plastic. And it wasn't engaging. So I ended up, the only thing I could think of to do, I heated it up and bent it over a little bit here so that it would make engagement. And then I covered that in heat shrink tubing to make it even thicker. And now it works. It works really well, as a matter of fact. So there we go. And in the process, I was able to free up the power locks, which I don't think anybody had really ever used the lock on this thing for years. But I hit it with PB Blaster, and then once I got it free, I got it oiled up and working well, so now the power lock works. So that's another good thing. But what you missed, the big project, is over here. Well, there's that bad tail light we were talking about. But I also changed out the radiator and the water pump. And actually, wasn't too tough of a job. It would have been a lot harder if the idiots who owned the Jeep before me had actually, you know, I don't know, replaced the bolts that they took out. I mean, if you look here in this panel, none of the screws are there. Those are all supposed to be in there. Back in here, under here, nothing. They're not in there. So that was easy. The only thing holding this panel down are these hood pins. Which is crazy. But that's the new water pump right there. The only issue I ran into was the water pump pulley. I have some physical issues. I don't have a lot of strength in my left arm from a surgery that I had, and it was tough to try to get those tight. And I thought I did, but then after you know, letting it run for a while, driving it around the block a couple of times, testing out, you know, how the temperature was and everything. Apparently I didn't get those pulley bolts tight enough. One of them actually came out while it was running, and I heard it go flying. Couldn't find it anywhere, and another one was loose. So I got new bolts, put them in there, or a new bolt, and got them as tight as I possibly could. So far they're staying tight. But if not, I got some blue Loctite I'm going to put on there. But other than that, yeah, no cooling issues as of now, knock on wood. There's some wood back here. This electronic fan wasn't working, but now it is. I don't know if it's because of all the fuses that I changed or what, but it is working now. So that's one good thing. I am missing the shroud for this fan, and believe it or not having a shroud actually makes a big difference. So that's something I'm going to probably try to find out of a junkyard or something. But yeah, really all I have left to do, well, there's a lot to do, but the main things is I got to get those lights working so I can get some plates and get it on the road. Now I want to get that exhaust changed. But other than that, everything else is, you know, relatively minor that I need to do. So, really, I'm going to have my head buried in here for a while. And hopefully, the next time you see this channel, those lights will be working. Because if not, we can't drive it. So, anyway, if you like the channel, subscribe. Hit the like button. And if you got any advice on those lights, sure love to hear from you. Leave a comment down below. Otherwise, it is a gorgeous day here in the UP of Michigan. I'm going to take a break and then get back at it. Till then, talk to you soon.